The South African clothing and textile manufacturing industry has faced countless challenges that have led to a sharp decline in employment. This is an industry that mostly employs women who support their families with this income, and they are vital to socio-economic progress.
We want to position our industry for sustainable growth because we have a market, but we know it's very difficult for us to compete on the market at times on price or depending on other shortcomings.
In the early 2000s, the industry employed 100,000 people, and now there are only around 54,000 people employed in the sector. In order for the industry to compete locally and abroad, they will need to improve productivity and competitiveness. 60% of the local market consists of imports.
How do we actually come onto this journey to being world-class organizations? How can we impact in this country and say, okay, if an enterprise is improving on their cycle time, that means when we get export orders, I'll be able to meet those delivery times.
The industry does not want to compete by reducing wages and relaxing working conditions. Rather, they want to do it through the principles of decent work and improving skills and production practices. With this in mind, at the 2018 Presidential Job Summit, it was agreed by the National Bargaining Council, the Productivity and Training Institute, employers' associations, and the labor unions that the International Labour Organization's Sustaining Competitive and Responsible Enterprises methodology, known as SCORE, would be used to train enterprises across 3 provinces: KwaZulu-Natal, the Western Cape, and Gauteng.
The SCORE program is one of the programs where you don't find a lot of animosity because you find it's good for business, and what is good for business is good for workers. If you have properly managed factories and properly managed businesses, you have more productive businesses, you contribute to economic growth in the country, and you have better working conditions.
Expert international trainers who have vast experience in using the SCORE methodology abroad and have proven results from the enterprises they have worked with were brought in to train carefully selected local trainers who are leaders in their fields to be able to roll out the program.
My impression with the SCORE program, it's a program that is really practical. It brings practical tools that can be implemented in the real factory environment.
I'm most excited about being able to use a concise methodology because some of the other methodologies I've used are longer term, and that's off-putting to companies who don't necessarily want to commit to such a long process. So being able to make a change in a short space of time.
We do have machines, we do have all the other resources, but the people aspect has been largely ignored over time. So I think by focusing on them and engaging them in terms of getting the productivity improvements that we desire, it will take our industry to the next level.
SCORE training helps SMEs to adopt the productivity-boosting management approaches that give world-class companies their competitive edge. These techniques increase employee engagement and environmental awareness. Local trainers have already participated in a Train the Trainer workshop and have begun rolling the program out in KwaZulu-Natal.
So the program, I found it to be very informative. I think the approach of the training is different from the way we do training. And the main emphasis on the people and why people are important, I think that's the core for the whole SCORE approach.
In order to ensure sustainability, it's important that you put people as the key drivers, as the key change agents.
SCORE trainers visit the enterprises to conduct an initial assessment, after which enterprises take part in a 2-day classroom-based workshop and then immediately implement continuous improvement projects that will have an impact on productivity. The workshops and follow-up visits engage all levels of staff, from management through to workers.
It makes us not to fear the managers. We get closer, we communicate, we share the ideas.
It's always making the team to be motivated, like you are not their boss, we are working together as a team. They must feel free to talk because we learn from each other.
I'm feeling confident about all the ideas that are going to flow out, and I feel very confident that they're going to see that even if they think that they are at a very high level already, there's always some more that can be found in all the minds of the people in the floor.
Now, I think there are many things I learned here, and I want to maybe in 2 or 3 weeks, I want there must be an improvement in my factory.
This opportunity for SMEs to take part in this training during the pilot phase of the project was hugely beneficial as they got to use these tools to improve workplace cooperation and productivity, ultimately helping them become more competitive and grow the industry at large with the end goal of creating more jobs. This video was produced by the Capacity Building Program for Employment Promotion, a government technical advisory centre program funded by the European Union.